Yeah, okay. Give it up for Primitive War, everybody. Give it up for dinosaurs and Vietnam Marines. Let's go. I just saw Primitive War. Just like always, these videos. Just got out of the movie theater and starting to record. Oh boy, this is a good film. Some people can go into this thinking this is going to be like, oh, it's going to be a fun movie. It's going to be about war and dinosaurs. A good combination. But sure enough, this turns out to be a super good film. A great film. Now, I might be a little biased because of dinosaurs. But no, this movie really tugs at you with like emotional brotherhood between the soldiers. It's a fun dinosaur movie. It can be considered like a B movie or just an indie film. But it's just towards like the end, it just becomes this like emotional ride of like sorrow and loss, and then at the very end of the film, it becomes this like super epic. I mean, combine dinosaurs and war, and you get a good, super fun, epic soundtrack. It is so good. To be fair and a little honest, it's a little better than the Jurassic World Rebirth film for a few reasons. It's because it's the dinosaur movie that a lot of us have been waiting for, especially, or at least that we're expecting from Jurassic World Rebirth. That's probably the only reason why. That's why it's a little better than Rebirth, because it's what we wanted. It's the video game that we've always wanted. We didn't just want a survival game, the Telltale game, and little arcade games. We want actual first-person shooter survivor game. And if you go to one of our recent videos, me and Lux played a kind of a demo of a game that's kind of like that called Claude, where it's like a shooter game that was inspired by Jurassic Park, and you go through this abandoned dinosaur park and try to get information and shoot. It's what we wanted. It's what all us Jurassic Park fans have been waiting for. It's almost, if you can compare it to anything, it can compare it to, it reminds me, because me, Shad, and Lux went to go see this, it reminded me and Shad of the classic Jurassic Park arcade games from like Chuck E. Cheese or something. To me, it definitely gave me the whole, I don't know which one it is, but it's like a Jeep one where you just shoot dinosaurs. That's what it really reminded me of. And it kind of reminded me of this movie called Overlord. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that one. It's a World War II film that these soldiers stumble upon a radio tower, or their mission was to blow up a radio tower, a German radio tower, and underneath that tower is a secret Nazi base creating zombies. So this one is kind of a spoiler, that it does explain where the dinosaurs come from. And it takes place during Vietnam. So Overlord was about soldiers during World War II, and they find out that the Nazis were using this chemical to bring back dead Nazi soldiers back to life and create a 1,000-year Reich, or an army of zombies, Nazi zombies, if you will. Sam! So try to put the puzzle pieces together with Primitive War of dinosaurs during the Vietnam War. This movie is not Jurassic Park. Now, let's go back and kind of look at Jurassic Park and compare it to Primitive War in the sense that, yes, there are emotional scenes in. I'm not gonna say all the Jurassic Park movies, because not all of them had an emotional scene as much as Jurassic Park did. And let's be honest, the only reason why some scenes are emotional in Jurassic Park, like the Brachiosaur scene and the Welcome to Jurassic Park and the ending with the music, let's be honest, now that can be considered the reason why it's more emotional is because of nostalgia. Traitor! But with Primitive War, it was definitely because of the connection you get from the characters. Yeah, this pretty much turns it up a notch on the emotional level and the expectations we wanted for dinosaur movies, or at least new Jurassic Park movies. And in case you're wondering, the dinosaurs are actually scientifically correct. Obviously, there's gonna be some T-Rex, and a T-Rex is pretty much scientifically accurate. There's a lot of dinosaurs actually had feathers, and the color palette from the dinosaurs remind you that you are not watching Jurassic Park. And I better not see a video that says Primitive War and Jurassic Park are in the same universe. Like, no. Keep in mind that Primitive War takes place in the 1960s and Jurassic Park takes place in 1990s. And according to the book, they started creating dinosaurs in the 80s and then opened the park during the 90s. So there's no possible connection between those two movies. And a lot of moments really got me and Lux nostalgic on some parts that really seemed very Call of Duty inspired, because the main characters get off a helicopter and then there's like a commander who's like, whoa, you guys look like like a bunch of hammered assholes. You guys all right? And it just reminded us of.
Butch, you look like hammered shit.
Sell copper shit in the jungle. It's not, baby.
The squad we follow, they're like trained soldiers that they even do stealth missions. Oh, and boy, do the stealth missions feel very Call of Duty. That it's only stealth because you're sneaking past behind enemies who aren't just paying attention to you. Game logic, basically. And the dinosaur violence is exactly, well, no, it's actually what we also wanted in the Jurassic Park movies. Because in the movies, in the Jurassic Park movies, you don't really see the deaths. There's only a very select handful that you actually see them dying. You see them being eaten by dinosaurs. Like Gennaro from the first one. Then Eddie Brock, I think is his name, from Lost World. Kind of Udesky from Jurassic Park 3. The Gatekeeper from Jurassic World. That one partner in the mansion in Fallen Kingdom. But I don't think there was one in Dominion, to be honest. And then Rebirth, it was one of the side characters during the Quetzalcoatl scene. And every other death you see in the film is usually out of frame or just blurred or obscured by on-screen material. In this one, you see like dinosaurs like going for sensitive spots like the chest and the throat and using claws to stab and hold and grip. And you like the bodies are like really aggressively moving as the dinosaurs are like biting down on them. Like you could tell if this was a kind of like an indie film because the gore didn't make sense. I mean, these are dinosaurs. Why? So there were parts where the dinosaurs just left the bodies as is with just a chunk ripped out of their chest. These aren't chest bursters. These are dinosaurs. So I don't know why the dinosaurs weren't eating them whole. Either eating them whole or at least eating them in parts and leaving other parts that they didn't have time to finish or were full. Like you can tell it's an indie amateur production. Not saying it's bad and low quality. It's actually good quality. Like good Hollywood quality. But you can just at the same time tell that this is an indie project, not owned by a bunch of major studios, or there's no A-list actors in it to sell the movie. And if you ask me, it's more of a compliment calling it an amateur film. That's because it's a good film and it's amateur and it didn't need A-list actors. It didn't need a big franchise name to sell it, which sucks because I really think they put a lot of the budget into costume because of it's Vietnam War and they had props, location, and VFX. And they didn't have enough money to do promotion, which really, really sucks because this movie deserves to be recognized. And just a heads up, if you're gonna go into this movie thinking like the CGI better be good, like don't even bother watching it. And I'm not even joking. Not because you're gonna hate this movie because of bad CGI. No, don't watch it because if that's all you're gonna care about, there's no point of watching it. You're not gonna pay attention to the story. You're not gonna pay attention to the movie. You're just gonna pay attention to VFX. So if that's all you care about when going seeing this movie, just don't go. Like seriously, like who cares if the CGI is good or bad? Because if you really say The Mummy Returns is a horrible movie because of the CGI, then you did not watch the movie. Yeah, you're just looking at the VFX of the film. You're not even bothering to watch the movie. And this movie deserves to be seen with an open mind and just pure moviegoer enjoyment. There is good action, good gore for a dinosaur creature feature, and lovable characters and emotional moments. Oh god, I can't get out of my head the ending of the film. It's so epic. Let's put in perspective of how epic it could be. It's kind of like the 300 scene of the slow motion of Leonidas. Or the slow motion metal part where the Spartans are marching towards the Persians. For those who don't know, it's actually based off a book. And you can tell it's not just a passion project to be like, oh, it'd be really cool to put dinosaurs in war. That'd be really cool. I'm assuming he really sticks to the book and just keeps... That's why I find it really hard to call it a B movie. If anyone call it a B movie, it's because of the CGI. The CGI had its moments where you can tell like good CGI and then, okay, that was very obvious it was CGI. Like gross CGI. Because I go into every movie watching like knowing, oh, that's CGI, oh, that's CGI. But even Jurassic Park, like I can tell like the Brachiosaurus was CGI, I can tell the T-Rex was CGI. But like that doesn't mean the movie's bad. You can just see it, you can just tell it is. The only time I really did not, like my brain does not click that it's CGI was Pirates 2 and 3 and the Blomkamp movies, such as District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. So those 5 movies have the best CGI to where you can't tell it's CGI. And the only gripe I have with it is it's during the war, during Vietnam War, so they obviously it's Marines who have M16s. Yet, as much as they shoot some of the dinosaurs, they just will not get damaged. And according to recent research, dinosaur skin was not as rough as many people might think it is. And there are so many times where the Marines would just unload on these dinosaurs and they would not even take damage. So dinosaurs not getting any damage from guns. Not the entire time. There were just moments where it's like, okay, he should have died right there. The dinosaur should have died. But there were other parts where it's like, okay, that makes sense. So that's pretty much my only gripe with this movie. So that's my review and opinion on Primitive War. Highly recommend to go see it because whether you are a dinosaur fan or not, this movie I'm telling you, it tugs at your heartstrings. I recommend it if you are one who loves war movies, dinosaur movies, action movies, strange crossover movies, even emotional epics. This movie is for you. Definitely is for me. Definitely was for Shad, and definitely was for Lux. We all loved the movie as soon as it ended. Like we were the only 3 who started applauding at the end. No one else bothered to applaud, but we sure did. I had to give my applause. I had to give my applaud to the director because he knew what he was doing. Hope you had a chance to go watch it, or at least do the best you can to find it when it comes out, because since this had no promo, let's hope and pray that this movie gets put on some streaming platform or has a physical release, or YouTube does it for free with ads or rents it for $5, because this was the dinosaur movie us Jurassic Park fans needed. So with that being said, keep watching movies, guys, because this is Feature Freaks, where everything is about movies. And remember,
dinosaurs are cool.